वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुता पदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं चाग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नितिनामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नितिनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रसादिने निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्योदयसतादिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रसादिने जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय जय गौरचंदे आरती शोभा की वजह ओ जय गौरचंद आरती शोभा जानवी तटवान जग मन लोभा जानवी तटवान जग मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जग जन मन लोभा जग जन गौरांगेरा रतिक शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगेरा रतिक शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरा गौरांगेर आरती शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगेर आरती शोभा जग जन मन लोभा जानवी तटवान जग जन मन लोभा जानवी तटवान गौरांगेर आरती शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगेर आरती शोभा जग जन मन लोभा हरि बो हरि बो हरि बो गौर हरि बो दक्षिणी ताइचन बामे गदधर दक्षिणी निकटे द्वैत श्रेणी बस छत्रधार किव बसे गौरचंद रत्न सिंहासन किव बसे गौरचंद रत्न सिंहासन आरती करेण ब्रह्मा आदि देवगण आरती करेण ब्रह्मा आदि देवगण नर हरि आदि करी चमर धुलाय आदि करी चमर धुलाय नर हरि आदि करी चमर धुलाय संजय कुंड बासु গোসায়াদি গায়া শঙ্খ ও বাজে ঘন্টা বাজে বাজে করতাল কিবা শঙ্খ ও বাজে ঘন্টা বাজে বাজে করতাল বাজে ঘন্টা বাজে मधुरा मृदंग बाजे परम रसाल मधु 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 बाजे मधु मधु ओ मधु मधुर मधुर बाजे मधुर गौरांगेरा गति माझे मधु मधुर मधु बाजे गौरांगेरा गौरांगेरा रति माझे मधुर 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 बाजे गौरा गौरांगेरा रति माझे मधुर 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 बाजे गौरांगेरा मधुर 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 ओ हरि बोलो हरि बोलो हरि बोले मधुर 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 बाजे हरि बोलो हरि बोलो गौरांगेरा रतिक माझे मधुर 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 बाजे गौरा शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे ओ हरि बो हरि बो हरि बो गौर हरि बो निताय गौर हरि बो हरि बो हरि बो गौर हरि बो बहु कोटि चंद्रजिनी वदन उज्ज्वल गल देश बनमाला कोरे झलमाला शिव सुख नारद प्रेमे गदगद ठाकुर भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरा रसंपाद ठाकुर भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरा रसंपाद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय जगन्नाथ प्रभु जगन्नाथ बलदेव जय सुभद्रमय जय गिरिराज जय गोवर्धन गिरिराज जय गोवर्धन जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय राधे जय कृष्णा ताय गौर हरिबो 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 गौर हरिबो ताय गौर हरिबो 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 गौर हरिबो जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव ताय गुर प्रेमानंद हरि
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज कचार्य श्रोत्सतः हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज कचार्य श्रोत्सतः हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Namaste Narasingaya Praladala Dadaine Shiratangkanakalyaye Ito nasimha Bhagavato nasimha Yato yato yani tato nasimha Bahir nasimha Hridaye nasimha Narasimhamanim Sharanam Prapyate Tava Kara Kamalavayena Kan Advuta Shringam Tarita Hiranyakashipu Tanuvengam Keshavarita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari Jaya Jagadisha Hari Jaya Jagadisha Hari Keshagadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jaya Jagadisha Hari Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Gola Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gola Hari Bol. नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की।
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Love Feast. And we'd really like to thank the devotees who have dressed the deities today. They look wonderful. Please, big round of applause for the deities. Today's feast. So today's prasadam, the feast has been sponsored by, and I'll tell you, Vandana Chitkara and her family, sponsoring for their son's birthday, Varun Chitkara. Is Varun here today? Okay, well, thank you very much for sponsoring. And today, before we get into the class, we have a program by our kids. We're going to recite mantras. Shamdulari Mataji will come and tell us more.
Hare Krishna. Today the kids from Sunday school, they'll be reciting Gita Shlokas. December month, we especially focus on teaching and the Gita Shlokas with the kids. So they're really excited to recite them. I'm giving it to Devangi Mataji. She teaches the Subhadra class, the youngest in the group.
Hare Krishna, everyone. The first one is Kushagra. He will recite Shloka 4.9.
Hello everyone. Are you excited to learn some shlokas? Yes. Okay then. I will learn one shloka. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoviti taktvata aha taktvadeham punarjanma niti mamiti savarjana.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. The next student is Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my name is Krishna. I'm reciting 2.13 and 8.6. Denusmin tata de kumaram yumaram jara tata de tarapapte dirasrata namoyati yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tam evati konteya sadatalpava bhavita.
Hari Bol. Yes. The next one is Sharvil.
Hare Krishna everyone, I'm Sharvil. I'm reciting Shloka 15.1. Shri Bhagwan Vacha Urdhva Marashakam Ashwatam Prahuravayam Chandausi Yasya Parnani Yastau Veda Savedavit. And 9.26. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparatam yashnami pretadmana.
Hari Bol. Next is Arya.
Hare Krishna everyone, my name is Arya. I'm going to recite Bhagavad Gita Sloka 2.47. Karmanya vadikaraste mafalesu kadachana makarma falaturavu mate sangha swakarmani.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Roma. I'm going to recite Bhagavad Gita Sloka 2.47.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Now kids from Jagannath class will be joining.
Hare Krishna, my name is Dasani and I am going to be reciting 6.17 and 6.18. 6.17. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmashu yukta sapnavabodhasya yoga bhavati dukkha. 6.18. Yadavini yatam chittam matmana eva dasati nish risha nish nish Sarvakamboyo yukte ityauche tada. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, my name is Nandini and I will be reciting shlokas from Bhagavad Gita 4.6 and 4.9. 4.6. Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavam yatma mayaya. 4.9. Janma karma cha me devyam evam yoveti tattvata jaktva deham punar janma neti mameti sochana. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, my name is Divisha and I'll be reciting 9.10 and 9.11. 9.10. Maya Dakshina Prakruti Suryata Sachayachayam Hetunanena Kauntanya Jagadviparivartate. 9.11. Avajananti Marula Manushuitarumashitam Parvam Bhavana Jananto Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. Hare Krishna, my name is Kathy and I'm going to be reciting 9.13 and 9.14. 9.13. Mahamanastu mamprata davi praktitim ashrataha panjanti anayamanasa jahma bhutatam aveyam. 9.14. Sathatanki yantamam yantaskadita buddhaha namasyanta kap Bhaktiya Nitya Yukta Apasate. Hare Krishna, my name is Hari Gopal. I'm going to be reciting shlokas 2.13 and 2.14. 2.13. Dehi nosman yatha dehe komaranyo vanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatar namoyati. 2.14. Matar sparsastu konteya sitosna sukadakada agama payano nityas tamtatekshasva bharata. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. My name is Yuvan and I'll be doing 9.27 and 18.66. Yat karoshi yarasasi yat jahosi dadasi yat tapasya kanteya tat karushva mararpanam. 18.66. Sarvadharma parijya mamekam sarvanam vraja aham tvam sarva papevyu moksha yiswami masucha.
Hare Krishna, my name is Advik. I'll be reciting 9.32 and 9.34. 9.32. Mami partavya pashritya ye pisyo papayo nayaha striyo vashyastata shudraha te peyanti param gatim. 9.34. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhya jivam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvavam atmanam matparayanaha. Hare Krishna and thank you.
Hare Krishna, my name is Orna, and I'm going to be reciting 9.2 and 9.4. 9.2. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Ida Uttamam Pratyaksha Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. 9.4. Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagaravyakta Murtina Matstani Sarva Bhutani Nachaham Teshva Vastitaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Vaishnavi and I'm going to recite 2.13 and 2.16. Nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sataha ubayarapi dishtanta suneyo tatra dashivi dehinospunyata dehe kaumaram yuvanam jara tatha deham tara prapti dijas tatra namoyati. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my name is Kavya and I'm going to recite Bhagavad Gita shlokas 12.9 and 12.10. 12.9. Atachittam samadatum na sakshnosi mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato mamichaptam dhananjaya. 12.10. Abhyase api asamartosi matkarma paramo bhava madartam api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsisi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my name is Shrika and I'll be reciting 2.54 and 2.55. 2.54. Stita pragnasya kabasha samadhistasya keshava stita dikim pravasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. 2.55. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatam atmanyevatmana tushtaha stita pragnasta dochyate. Hare Krishna.
Let's give a big round of applause for all the kids. Yeah, and the kids have put in a lot of effort. Not only this, we have been teaching them Srimad Bhagavatam this year, and we have a lot of activities planned for the next upcoming year as well. So if anybody is still interested, can still get the kids enrolled. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a big festival coming on the 1st. What's it called? Oh, that's so weak, such a big festival. What's it called? Pushpa Abhishek, yes. So if you don't know what Pushpa Abhishek is, I'll give it time for everybody to just calm down. Starts at 4:30. Yes, so if you don't know what a Pushpa Abhishek is, we offer 10,000 rose flower petals to the deities, for the pleasure of the deities. So if you haven't been to a Pushpa Abhishek, that's the day you surely have to be here and be a part of that Pushpa Abhishek. And we're talking about real rose petals. When you'll go into the basement, you'll see we have thousands of roses there. So, sorry? Whenever you like to end. You can keep going. It'll go around till 8:30 or so, approximately. Okay, so 8:30 or 9ish, something like that will go. Yeah, so it's a big opportunity, and we are looking for sponsors. These flowers, they are very costly. You'll see there are different colored rose flowers. So if you really want to sponsor for the flowers, you can meet Adukshaya Prabhu. He's in the gift shop. We're looking for sponsors for the roses. Okay, with this, we would like to invite our speaker, Vamsi Vadan Prabhu. So Vamsi Vadan Prabhu, he's the disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He's he speaks less, but then when he speaks, his words have immense depth coming from his oceanic understanding of the Shastras. If you really want to see how do you implement the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in your life, Vamsi Vadan Prabhu is the person you should connect with. So please give a warm welcome to Vamsi Vadan Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Okay, I'll have it like this. Is it visible? Yeah, thank you. Huh? No.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, respected Premnam Prabhu. Prabhuji spoke a lot about myself. To be really honest, I really don't know what is beneficial for me or what is detrimental for me. People think I'm a great scholar, but because people are saying like that, I believe those words. That's my fault. I'm still a conditioned soul. Vaishnavas are so merciful. His Grace Nilmada Prabhu, he's back in India in Vrindavan Dham, the most holiest place in the entire universe. But still he's thinking how to benefit conditioned souls like myself. So he messaged me to study Srimad Bhagavatam and repeat the words. So I'm very grateful to him. Vaishnavas want others to be purified. So we'll begin with prayers. Today we are just going to pick up a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and then in connection to that verse we'll discuss a pastime of Sri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranata Kleshaya Nashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So is to sing the screen. Yeah. Doesn't go on slideshow, right? Okay. All right. Hare Krishna. So today we are picking up a verse from Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Purana, which is mercifully given to us by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This verse is very relevant to all of us since New Year is coming and all of us have a lot of thoughts that are coming to our mind. I was hearing a class by my revered spiritual master, and he was saying that many thoughts come in our mind and our mind is absorbed in that particular feeling. And one such feeling that all of us have, irrespective of who we really are in this world, is fear. We are fearful of many things in life, either of maybe something really personal, maybe fearful of some disease ongoing in our body, or maybe fearful of something else in our life. That fear really absorbs our consciousness. We cannot really focus on anything else. Even if somebody says something really so important in our life, because we are so absorbed in that fearful thought, nothing goes in our consciousness. And all of us have that experience, right? It's very relatable. But Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Purana itself mentions it is the cream of all Vedic literatures and it gives solutions to all our problems. And this particular verse clearly defines how we can get over that insurmountable fear. Because when we are fearful, whatever, even if somebody gives billions of dollars, that fearfulness doesn't go from our mind only. It's a true fact. So Bhagavatam gives solution for us. And not only to that, something beyond that. That is the nature of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll begin the verse. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsa Shokamoha Bhayapaha. Translation and purport by Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, His Divine Grace. Translation. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavad Purana, the feeling of loving devotional service to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts at once. For what? To extinguish the fire of lamentation, shoka, moha, illusion, and fearfulness. We'll read the purport. We will not have time to discuss every single point, but if I'm reading it slowly, Prabhupada makes it very easy for us to digest. There are various senses of which the ear is the most effective. This sense works even when a man is deep asleep. One can protect himself from the hands of an enemy while awake. But while asleep, one is protected by the ear only. The importance of hearing is mentioned here in connection with attaining the highest perfection of life, namely getting freed from the three material pangs. Everyone is full of lamentation at every moment. He is after mirage of illusory things, and he is always afraid of his supposed enemy. It's very subtle statements Srila Prabhupada is making here. We are after so many things in the life that if I only get this alone, I am settled. That's illusion. And Srila Prabhupada is saying, we are always afraid of our supposed enemy. Sri Prahlad Maharaj says in the 7th canto, considering somebody friend, somebody enemy is all due to our mind. There is no such thing called friend or enemy in this world. These are the primary symptoms of material disease. And it is definitely suggested herein that simply by hearing the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, one gets attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. And as soon as this is affected, the symptoms of material disease disappear. Because Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita says, wherever there is Krishna, there cannot be darkness. So when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam itself mentions that Bhagavad Purana is non-different from Krishna. In fact, when so many devotees purchased Srimad Bhagavatam a few months ago, Bhagavatam was kept on the altar and worshipped. Non-different from Krishna. Srila Vyasadeva saw the all-perfect personality of Godhead, and in this statement, the all-perfect personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is very clearly mentioned. The ultimate result of devotional service, what is the result of bhakti? What is the result of chanting? What is the result of coming to the temple and taking darshan, bowing down, smelling fragrance and flower? Is to develop genuine love for the Supreme Personality. Love is a word which is often used in relation with man and women in this world. And love is the only word that can be properly used to indicate the relationship between Lord Sri Krishna and the living entities like us, the Jiva. Srila Prabhupada goes on further. This is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, and Srila Prabhupada is bringing that point here. The living entities are mentioned as Prakriti in the Bhagavad Gita. And in Sanskrit, Prakriti is a feminine object. The Lord is always described as the Param Purusha, or the Supreme Male Personality. Thus, the affection between the Lord and the living entities Prakriti is something like that between a male and a female. See, Prabhupada is making very easy for us to understand. Therefore, the term love of Godhead is quite appropriate. So, we are meant to give pleasure to Krishna, in essence, Srila Prabhupada is telling. Loving devotional service to the Lord begins with hearing about the Lord. There is no difference between the Lord and the subject matter heard about Him. Prabhupada will make this thing more clearer. The Lord is absolute in all respects, and thus there is no difference between Him and the subject matter heard about Him. No difference between Krishna and the subject matter heard about Krishna. Therefore, hearing about Him means immediate contact with Krishna by the process of vibration of the transcendental sound. And the transcendental sound is so effective that it acts at once by removing all material affections mentioned above. All the three material problems that we saw is at once removed. Because we are hearing something about Krishna. Because Krishna is not of this world. Only in this world we experience those problems. But because Krishna is not of this world, anything that is in connection with Krishna is not having those material affections. As mentioned before, a living entity develops a sort of complexity by material association. And the engagement of the material body is accepted as an actual fact. Under such false complexity, the living beings under different categories of life become illusion in different ways. Even in the most developed stage of human life that we are in, the same illusion prevails in the form of how many isms, and divides the loving relationship with the Lord, and thereby divides the loving relationship between man and man. So what happens? Because of the so-called concoctions of our mind, we create so many ideologies in this world, and ultimately what is the problem? we actually miss the point that we are meant to connect with the absolute truth, Krishna. But the solution is, by hearing the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam, this false complexity of illusion of materialism is removed, and real peace in society begins, which politicians aspire for so eagerly in so many political situations. Prabhupada goes on further, the politicians want a peaceful situation between man and man, nation and nation, but at the same time, because of too much attachment for material domination, there is illusion and fearfulness. Once Srila Prabhupada came to the airport, and Srila Prabhupada tells us in the class, whenever we go to any airport, there is people asking, where are you from, which country you are from, what have you come for, so and so. Because everyone is scared that who is this person come to our border, what is he up to. That is illusion. Because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says everything, he is a proprietor of everything in this material creation. And the illusion that we are in, that we want to draw boundaries and think certain portion belongs to us. Therefore, the politicians' peace conferences cannot bring peace about bring about peace in society. It can only be done by hearing the subject matter described in the Srimad Bhagavatam about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. The foolish politicians may go on holding peace and summit conferences for hundreds of years, but they will fail to achieve success. Until we reach the stage of re-establishing our lost relationship with Krishna, the illusion of accepting our body as a self will prevail, and thus fearfulness will also prevail. And now Prabhupada is concluding the purport. The conclusion is that simply by hearing the Vedic literature of Srimad Bhagavatam, one can have direct connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and thereby one can attain the highest perfection of life by transcending the worldly miseries, illusion and fearfulness. These are the practical tests for one who has actually given submissive hearing to the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the most important point, Srila Prabhupada always punches in the end. We have to give submissive oral reception to Srimad Bhagavat Purana. Submissive means to consider that Krishna, I am undergoing so many troubles and situations, but by your causeless grace and by the grace of some devotees, I have been brought into this temple now. I am all yours now. I want to hear about you. I want to come closer to you. Submissive means not having any strings attached. Not having any, I'll stop with strings attached. We should not have any strings attached, and we should just depend on that particular subject matter that is being discussed. And because of the submissive oral reception, Bhagavatam explains in the second canto that Krishna enters as sound vibration through our ears and directly enters through our heart. And repeated such hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna helps cleanse our heart gradually. And then Krishna will gradually reveal himself to us, and whatever we are hearing, when we are chanting, the chanting will reveal itself more to us, all by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And in relation to hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, we are going to discuss a pastime of Krishna from Bhagavad Purana. This comes in the 10th canto when Krishna is in Dwaraka. In the interest of time, we are not going to read the Sanskrit and not all the verses, but crux of the storyline, we are going to focus on the translation. Sri Shukadeva Goswami continued, there is a devotee of Krishna's known as Shrutadeva, who was a first-class Brahmana, perfectly satisfied by rendering unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna. He was peaceful, learned, and free from sense gratification. Living as a religious householder in the city of Mithila, within the kingdom of Videha, he managed to fulfill his obligations while maintaining himself with whatever sustenance easily came on his way. So Shrutadev was a first-class Brahmana, and he was an unalloyed devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. By the will of providence, he obtained each day just what he needed for his sustenance, and no more. Satisfied with this much, he properly executed his duties. And the purport by our humble disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they write that an ideal Vaishnava Brahman, even if encumbered by the ties of family life, should work only hard as required to meet his obligations, without being unnecessarily agitated for material advancement. This should be our aspiration, that whatever is coming through the grace of Krishna, we should simply be happy with that and not be asking for more and more and more. Because if we are aspiring for more and more and more, then we cannot really have our consciousness fixed upon Krishna. It simply agitates our mind. If a householder can succeed in this program, despite the unavoidable difficulties of this degraded age that we are in Kali Yuga, he can expect Krishna, Lord Krishna's personal attention. As will be seen in the case of Shrutadev, the perfect Brahmana of Mithila. We will see how Shrutadev actually gets darshan of Krishna. Similarly, free from false ego, was the ruler of that kingdom. So now we are going into another personality. Sri Shukadeva Goswami is saying, my dear Parikshit, the descendant of Mithila dynasty named Bahulashva. Both these devotees were very dear to Lord Achyuta. Pleased with both of them, the Supreme Personality of Godhead mounted his chariot, which Daruka had brought, and traveled to Videha with a group of sages. Krishna understands that he has his two wonderful, unalloyed devotees in Mithila, and Krishna decides to give darshan to them. This is out of Krishna's own causeless mercy. In his commentary, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states that Shrutadev and Bahulashva were unable to travel to Dwaraka to see Lord Krishna because both of them have vowed to regularly worship their personal deity at home. So both the devotees were worshipping Krishna at home. Shri Krishna was very glad to go out of his way to give them both his audience. And by leaving Dwaraka, he insisted that the sages who wanted to come with him should join him on his chariot, because otherwise they would exhaust themselves following on the foot. So there were some sadhus. Krishna wanted to take them also along with him. And we'll see who those sadhus are. Because the purport says here, otherwise what, the sadhus are very renounced. They don't want to use any facilities or anything. Renowned sages would ordinarily never even consider traveling in such an opulent conveyance. But on the Lord's order, they put aside their natural aversion and joined him on his chariot. We see even in the life of Srila Prabhupada, he was the most renounced personality you can ever probably heard of, at least in our lifetime. He was there in Radha Damodar temple, always chanting and serving his Guru Maharaj's mission. And he had to take a cargo ship, travel 35 days, travel around the world for 14 times over airplanes. Why? Because it was Krishna's order that he wanted to fulfill. And he wanted to preach Krishna's message. And who are the sages who traveled along with Krishna? The great personalities, Sri Narada Muni, Vamadev, Atri, Krishna Dvaipana Vyasa, Vyasadev, Parashuram, Asita, Aruni, myself, Shukadeva Goswami, Brihaspati, Kanva, Maitreya, and Chaivana. In every city and town, the Lord passed along the way, O king. The people came forward to worship him with offerings of argya water in their hands, as if to worship the rising sun surrounded by planets. So now Krishna on his chariot are likened to planets around the sun. Krishna was shining so much. The men and women of Anartha, Dhanva, Kurujangala, Kanaka, Kanka, Matsya, Panchala, Kunti, Madhu, Kekaya, Koshala, Arna, and many other kingdoms drank with their eyes the nectarian beauty of Lord Krishna's lotus-like face, which was graced with generous smiles and affectionate glances. Simply by glancing at those who came to see him, Lord Krishna, the spiritual master of the three worlds, delivered them from the blindness of materialism. As he thus endowed them with fearlessness and divine vision, he heard demigods and men singing his glories, which purify the entire universe and destroy all misfortune. Gradually he reached Videha. Now, Srila Jiva Goswami is bringing out an important point. How can ordinary people like us have darshan of Krishna? He says, Because we are all, our eyes is covered by ignorance. Lord Brahma says, unless our eyes are smeared with love, without any tinge of attachment to this material world, we cannot really see Krishna. But then how did these people see Krishna? Srila Jiva Goswami brings out an important point. He says that Lord Krishna's special glance of mercy empowered every one of them with devotional purity required for entering into his association. And it is quoted, Bhaktyaham ekaya grahya. I can be perceived only by devotion. And Krishna infused that devotion into those people who were just on the roadside when Krishna was traveling on the chariot, so that they can actually see Krishna's beautiful form. Krishna's glance is so powerful. Hearing that Lord Achyuta had arrived, O king, the residents of the cities and villages of Videha joyfully came forth to receive him with offerings in their hands. As soon as the people saw Lord Uttama Shloka, their faces and hearts blossomed with affection. Joining their palms above their heads, they bowed down to the Lord and to the sages accompanying him, whom they had previously only heard about. They had only heard about Krishna from what he was doing in Dwaraka. Both the king of Mithila and Shrutadev fell at the Lord's feet, each thinking that the spiritual master of the universe had come there just to show him mercy. At exactly the same time, King Maithila and Shrutadev each went forward with joined palms and invited the Lord of Dasharas to be his guest along with the Brahmana sages. Waiting to please them both, the Lord accepted both their invitations. Thus, he simultaneously went to both homes and neither could see him entering the other's house. This is Krishna's opulence. Krishna, I was reading a purport, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardhana. He is attracted only by the bhav or the devotion of the devotee. Everything else is external to Krishna. Krishna is simply attracted by the devotion of the devotee. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Krishna visited Shrutadev and Bahulashva at the same time by manifesting himself in duplicate forms along with the sages. Thus, King Bahulashva thought that Lord Krishna had come only to his house, leaving Shrutadev to return home disappointed, while Shrutadev believed that just the reverse was the case. Krishna was so... neither of them knew that Krishna was in both their homes. This is Krishna's nature. Krishna wants to satisfy all his devotees. We see in many of his pastimes, even in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, so many pastimes that Krishna exhibits his Vaibhava Prakash. It is mentioned here that Lord Krishna and his companions were present in both houses, although both Brahmana and the king thought he was present in his house only. Is another opulence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This opulence is described in the revealed scriptures as Vaibhava Prakash. Similarly, when Lord Shri Krishna married 16,000 wives, he also expanded himself into 16,000 forms, each one of them as powerful as himself. Similarly, in Vrindavan, when Brahma stole away Krishna's cows, calves and cowherd boys, Krishna expanded himself into new cows, calves and cowherd boys. This is Krishna's, whether Krishna is in whatever realm, Mathura, Dwaraka or in Vrindavan Dham, Krishna's opulence is never diminished. When King Bahulashva, a descendant of Janaka, saw Lord Krishna approaching his house from a distance with the sages, who were somewhat fatigued from the journey, he immediately arranged to have seats of honor brought out for them. After they were all comfortably seated, the wise king, his heart overflowing with joy and his eyes clouded by tears, bowed down to them and washed their feet with intense devotion. Taking the wash water which could purify the entire world, he sprinkled it on his head and the head of his family members. Then he worshipped all those great lords by offering them fragrant sandalwood paste, flower garlands, fine clothing, ornaments, incense, lamps, arghya, cows and bulls. Srila Prabhupada writes, this is from Krishna book, Bahulashva, the king of Videha, was very intelligent and was a perfect gentleman. He was thinking, along with Krishna, I also see, he is personally present in my home. He knew perfectly well that the conditioned souls engaged in worldly affairs cannot 100% be pure. Because Krishna can be seen only when our heart is completely pure. He is thinking. And his pure devotees are always transcendental to worldly contamination. How are they also here? Therefore, when he found that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, all the great sages were at his home, he was astonished and he began to thank Lord Krishna for his causeless mercy. Srila Prabhupada writes in one purport that all the processes that we are putting forth in bhakti is to finally attract Krishna for this causeless mercy. Somehow or the other, we are praying someday, perhaps some lifetime, that Krishna will bestow his causeless mercy upon us. Because without that causeless mercy, we cannot see Krishna. The word Ishvara in this verse refers not only to the Supreme Lord, but also to the exalted sages in his company. This is confirmed by the Acharyas Sridhar Swami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. When they had eaten to their full satisfaction, for their further pleasure, the king began to speak slowly and in a gentle voice as he held Lord Vishnu's feet in his lap and happily massaged them. How fortunate he is massaging Krishna's lotus feet. Shri Bahulashva said, O Almighty Lord, you are the soul of all created beings. They are self-illuminated witness, and now you are giving your audience to us who constantly meditate on your lotus feet. Now Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains Bahulashva's inner thoughts. See, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is one of the acharyas in the line. And the acharyas in the line have been blessed by Krishna to enter into those pastimes and really understand what are the thoughts of the characters in that pastime. This is by the mercy of Krishna. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is going to the inner thought of Bahulashva, which we don't have access. Bahulashva's glorifies Lord Krishna as the inspiring soul of all life and consciousness, thinking that even an inner dullard like himself could be awakened to devotional awareness by his mercy. He glorifies the Lord as a witness of all pious and impious actions, confident that the Lord remembers whatever little devotional service he has ever done. Again, coming to the same point, right, that Srila Prabhupada mentions, Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana. Even a small amount of bhakti, devotional service that we render to him, Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna never forgets. Srila Prabhupada says, even a small child comes and offers a flower to a photo of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says, in that small child's account, that spiritual bank balance is being noted by Krishna. Even a small thing done ever by anybody, Krishna takes notice of that. And he glorifies him as self-illumined, never needing to be enlightened or informed by external source. With the knowledge that the Lord has always been aware of Bahulashva's long-cherished secret desire to see him. Bahulashva was only having in his heart, he never told anybody, when will I see Krishna, No, he never told anybody. But Krishna knew from Dwaraka that he had his unalloyed devotee in Mithila. So let me go and show him some mercy. You have said, this is amazing. He's praying, you have said, neither Ananta, Goddess Sri, nor unborn Brahma is dearer to me than my unalloyed devotee. To prove your own words true, you have now revealed yourself to our eyes. Bahulashva is telling, neither Anantadev, who is Balramji himself, this Krishna also tells later in the 10th canto, Goddess Sri or nor Brahma is dearer to me than my unalloyed devotee. So Krishna came to see Bahulashva. And now Bahulashva is saying, Krishna, please stay here for a few days in our house, along with these Brahmanas, please. O all-pervading one, with the dust of your feet, sanctify this dynasty of Nini. Sri Shukadeva Goswami continued, thus invited by the king, the Supreme Lord, sustainer of the world, consented to stay for some time to bestow good fortune on the men and women of Mithila. Shrutadev received Lord Achyuta into his home. Now we are going to Shrutadev, the second Brahmana. Received Lord Achyuta into his home. Now this is totally contrast. See, Bahulashva is a king and he has so many facilities, but Shrutadev is just a pious Brahmana. He doesn't have much at his home. With much enthusiasm as that shown by King Bahulashva, after bowing down to the Lord and the sages, Shrutadev began to dance with great joy, waving his shovel. We don't have Vastra, but he was waving his shovel. That's the only thing he had. He simply wanted to express his devotion with whatever he had to Krishna. After bringing mats of grass and darba straw and seating his guests upon them, he greeted them with words of welcome. Then he and his wife washed their feet with great pleasure. Again, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur brings a very intricate detail that to provide even this simple welcome that Shrutadev had to go to the next door to his neighbors and borrow extra mats. My spiritual master, he says, bhakti means going out of comfort zone. That we have to go that extra mile to please Krishna. There's so many wonderful devotees in this temple, worshipable devotees. They go out of their way to please Krishna by going out and giving literatures of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita to people who don't have any clue that this even exists. This is going out of the way to please Krishna. This insight is provided by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. With the wash water, the virtuous Shrutadev copiously sprinkled himself, his house and his family. Overjoyed, he felt that all his desires had now been fulfilled. He worshipped them with offerings of auspicious items easily available to him, such as fruits, ushira root, pure nectarian water, fragrant clay, tulsi leaves, kusha grass and lotus flowers. Then he offered them food that increases the mode of goodness. Krishna explains there are different types of food in the 17th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Food that which increases the mode of goodness, not passion or ignorance. Like something fatty, milky, that is all food in the mode of goodness. He wondered, how is it that I, fallen into the blind well of family life, have been able to meet Lord Krishna? And how have I been allowed to meet these great Brahmanas who always carry the Lord within their hearts? Indeed, the dust of their feet is the shelter of all holy places. We will come to that point. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar Bhagavan ki jai, Radha Madhav ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki jai. Hare Krishna. He wondered, 42 is repeated here again, when his guests were seated comfortably, having each received a proper welcome, Shrutadev approached them and sat down nearby with his wife, children and other dependents. Then again, now Shrutadev is massaging Krishna's legs. While massaging the Lord's feet, he addressed Krishna and the sages. You reveal yourself. If anyone wants to remember something from what we discussed today, this is something that we want to remember throughout our life. You reveal yourself within the hearts of those persons of pure consciousness who constantly hear about you, chant about you, worship you, glorify you, and converse with one another about you. Shrutadev is giving the secret of attracting Krishna. We have to endeavor to become pure by following the process of bhakti. How? By constantly hearing about Krishna, by chanting about Krishna, his holy names, worshipping him, glorifying him. By studying Srimad Bhagavatam, we are directly glorifying Krishna, and conversing. When we meet fellow devotees, we discuss about Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a devotee to teach us this process. Wherever he went, he was simply discussing about Krishna. O Lord, you are the supreme soul and we are your servants. How shall we serve you? My Lord, simply seeing you puts an end to all troubles of human life. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, after hearing Shrutadev speak these words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who relieves his surrendered devotee's distress, took Shrutadev's hand in his own smiling, spoke to him as follows. Again, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that Lord Krishna took Shrutadev's hand and smiled as a gesture of friendship to tell him, yes, you know the truth about me, and I also know all about you. So now, I will tell you something special. The Supreme Lord said, my dear Brahmana, you should know that these great sages have come here just to bless you. They travel throughout the worlds with me, purifying them with the dust of their feet. Sridhar Swami explains that Lord Krishna thought that Shrutadev had shown too much reverence to him, but not to the sages. And thus he turned the Brahmana's attention to the sages. Because Krishna and the great sadhus who are along with him, like Srila Narad Muni, Krishna considers them to be so dear that we cannot ignore them. We cannot ignore the sadhus. We cannot ignore the great pure sadhus traveling in this world. And Krishna will tell why. One can gradually become purified by seeing, touching, worshipping temple deities, places of pilgrimage and holy rivers. When we go to places of pilgrimage, so many holy places are there, but one can attain the same result immediately. We may be in Baltimore, simply by receiving the glance of an exalted sage. When so many exalted sages and devotees come to the temple, simply by seeing them, we become purified. And I would like to refer to some brief explanation regarding that. Srila Prabhupada writes elsewhere, trying to explain that principle. How is that simply by seeing some sadhu we become purified? I have to take a plane ticket and go to some holy place and spend some days there and do some devotional activities. Then yes, there is definitely purification. But Srila Prabhupada says, as a sinful person like myself, when I go to a holy place of pilgrimage to be purified, I go for purification. In a holy place, there are many saintly people and temples of Lord Vishnu. However, the holy place becomes infected with sins of many visitors. When an advanced devotee goes to a holy place, he counteracts all the sins of the pilgrims. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhishthira addressed Vidura in that way. In Bhagavatam, Maharaj Yudhishthira addresses Vidura as your holy place personified. Because Vidura is also a great soul. Since an advanced devotee carries Lord Vishnu within his heart, Krishna within his heart, he is a moving temple. He is a moving temple. We should not misunderstand that they become God. That is not the point. Because they are carrying Krishna within their heart, with Lord Vishnu in their heart. An advanced devotee does not need to go to holy places, for wherever he stays is a holy place. In this connection, Srila Narottama Das Thakur states, Tirtha Yatra Parishrama Kevala Manera Brahma. Visiting holy places is simply another type of bewilderment. Since an advanced devotee does not need to go to any holy place, why does he go? The answer is that he goes simply to purify that place. So, when we meet sadhus, and when we hear that there are sadhus in the vicinity, we should be so eager to go and simply see them. Simply, we don't even have to talk to them. Simply by having darshan of them, when Prabhupada was there, the Western world became shocked. How is that a 70-year-old man can attract so many people? What is this Krishna consciousness about? That is because simply by seeing an exalted saint like Srila Prabhupada, people become purified. And with that purification, when they came and practiced bhakti under his guidance, they experienced something that no one could give them. No money could buy. That is the effect of an association with a sadhu. Now Krishna is continuing, even my own forearm form is no dearer to me than a Brahmana. Brahmana means here a pure Vaishnava. Within himself a learned Brahmana comprises all the Vedas, just as within myself I comprise all the demigods. So learned Brahmana means a pure sadhu, a Vaishnav, pure Vaishnav, just like Srila Prabhupada. They comprise all the Vedas. Srila Prabhupada once, with tears in his eyes, in his class, he says, Vedeshu Durlabham. We cannot understand the Vedas, even by studying. I may have access to all the Vedas, but nothing goes in my heart. Vedeshu Durlabham, Adurlabham, Atma Bhakta. Adurlabham, the same Vedas which was Adurlabham to understand, very difficult to understand, Atma Bhakta. By the mercy of a sadhu, a pure-hearted sadhu, a dumb, dull-headed person like myself, we will be enlightened. Because they comprise all the Vedas. They are Vedas personified. They have assimilated and realized the information in the Vedic literature. Because he has realized me, a Brahmana is firmly fixed in the knowledge that everything moving and non-moving in the universe, and also the primary elements of its creation, are all manifest forms expanded from me. Such a pure-hearted sadhu sees Krishna everywhere. Not just in the deity form. Yes, Krishna resides here. But when such a pure-hearted sadhu travels everywhere, they see Krishna even when sun is rising. While drinking water, they see Krishna. Because Prabhupada says, it's not so difficult to remember Krishna. Prabhupada just very casually says in his class, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayo. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am the taste of water. How many of us remember Krishna like that? That's the nature of a pure sadhu. Simply by every move that they make, they remember Krishna. Because they see Krishna everywhere, because their heart is so pure. Therefore, you should worship these Brahmana sages, O Brahmana, he is telling to Shrutadev, with the same faith you have in me. If you do so, you will worship me directly, which you cannot do otherwise, even with offerings of vast riches. This is a repeated theme across Srimad Bhagavatam and all our Vedic literatures. How to attract Krishna. How to attract the mercy of Krishna. We can approach Krishna only by faithfully worshipping his dear devotees who are the sadhus. And we have to sincerely pray. When we come and stand in front of the deities, we can pray. It's an opportunity for us. We simply have to intensely pray, Krishna, please send me the divine personality in my life, whom I can surrender to, who will show me who you really are, because I don't have the vision, I don't have the ability to know you, but because these personalities are holy places personified, they can reveal you to us. So please show me such personalities in my life. And Krishna himself is saying, you will worship me directly if you worship such personalities. Krishna considers worship of his sadhus direct worship to Krishna. We may not be able to come to the temple due to some circumstances, but if we can identify such sadhus in our life, and if we endeavor to render service and worship them, it is as good as worshipping Krishna. These are Krishna's direct words coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are ending. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, so instructed by his Lord, with single-minded devotion, Shrutadev worshipped Sri Krishna and the topmost Brahmanas accompanying him. And King Bahulashva did the same. Thus, both Shrutadev and King attained the ultimate transcendental destination. At the end of their lives, they went back to the spiritual world. Shukadeva Goswami is continuing, O King, he is addressing to Maharaj Parikshit, thus the personality of Godhead, who is devoted to his own devotees, stayed for some time with his two great devotees, Shrutadev and Bahulashva, teaching them the behavior of perfect saints. Then the Lord returned to Dwaraka. So we'll end with the final slide. So what is that we want to take home from today's study of Srimad Bhagavatam? This first line that Srila Prabhupada is going to say to us, he tells repeatedly. It is said that the transcendental name, chanting of Krishna's name, his form, quality, his pastimes that we read, paraphernalia, personality, etc., cannot possibly be pursued by gross material senses. This is directly from Padma Purana. Padma Purana says, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhave grayam indriyai sevan mukhehi jivado swayam eva spuratyada. But when the same senses using which we cannot know Krishna are purified, how? By the process of hearing. Starts with hearing, Shravanam. We have to hear about Krishna. Now with the day and age of technology that we have technology ready within the palm of our hands. We have so much opportunity to hear about Krishna from the right sources. That is the most important thing. We have to hear from the right source. And when we start the process of hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping the lotus feet of the holy deity, etc., then the Lord gradually reveals himself proportionately to the advancement of the quality of the devotional service. Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye etamam prapadyante. To the degree we want to do all these activities from the process of starting of hearing, then Krishna will gradually reveal himself to us. One should not expect the Lord to be an order supplying agent who must be present before us as soon as we desire to see him. We must be ready to undergo the prescribed devotional duties following the path shown by the predecessors in the disciplic succession from Lord Brahma, Lord Shri Narada Muni and similar authorities. So we have to simply follow the process of this process starting from hearing. And simply by doing this, Krishna will very secretly start entering within our lives and within our hearts. So, just to recap, going to the first slide, what is the benefit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? New Year is coming. If some of us are very eager to hear about Krishna, let us take a step forward and start hearing about Krishna from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature of Srimad Bhagavatam, feeling of loving devotional service to Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion and fearfulness. Hare Krishna. I will stop here. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions? The class isn't over. If you start leaving, please, the class isn't over. Any questions? There's a question there for front of you.
Haribol,
Hare Krishna.
I was surprised to hear a statement that the temple can be impure, can become impure, or can be affected by impure people coming. Can you clarify that, my understanding of that?
No, it says that the holy places, see, generally, general tendency, it's not to pinpoint anyone, but the Shastra says that general tendency, if I'm not inclined to bhakti, this is a general statement. If I'm not inclined to getting closer to God, my general tendency to go to holy places is to wash away my impious activities. I want to go to a certain holy place and dip in a holy river to wash away my sinful activities. That is a general tendency. How many of us really go to a holy place to seek out to sadhus, to go and find holy saints and hear from them? That is not, at least, my thought process. So that is why Shastra says that when general populace actually visit holy places, the holy place never gets tainted by them. But because the holy places, the holy rivers are being contaminated by those sinful activities of people, this is not a mere statement. Mother Ganga says this, that so many people come and bathe in me. What will happen to the sins that are being dumped in my waters? Ganga Devi is saying. But then it is mentioned that don't worry. Krishna says that don't worry, the holy saints who come to those places will nullify those sins. So that is the point. The whole point is to glorify the saints, the sadhus, whom are hidden in the holy places. They are hidden. The sadhus never come out. They never advertise themselves that I'm a sadhu, please come to me. No. A true sadhu will never show himself or to the public. They are revealed by the grace of Krishna to the outside world. And to glorify them, these statements are mentioned. Otherwise, the sadhus cannot be glorified. Unless Krishna himself personally comes and glorifies like this. That is the whole point. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yeah, I understand that sadhus, yes, purify. But I'm thinking like the temple is like gold. The deities are there, Jagannath is there. Nothing can change that. Nothing can change, can make gold impure, in other words.
No, that is correct. The deities are there, they don't get contaminated. But the point is, see, why Krishna is telling this is, he wants us to get purified faster. The sadhus, by Krishna's grace, the sadhus have so much potency in them that they can purify us, what would take probably many lifetimes of temple visits. Temple visits are definitely purifying, if I am in the right consciousness. But simply by seeing a pure-hearted sadhu, Krishna himself is telling, we heard, right? We are at once purified, immediately. I may not even realize it. But at once I am purified by seeing a pure-hearted sadhu. Is that okay? Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Any more questions? There's
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much, very nice class. I have a realization to share and a question. So as you mentioned over the session that how we can develop the level of bhakti and what should we follow the process to elevate ourselves in a way. So my question is, like when I'm in the temple, my bhakti state remain elevated, but when I go out, involved in the regular duties, I feel it gets down. So how to bring it or make it consistent?
I'm also in the same boat. So the point is, because temple is considered to be non-different from the spiritual world. Because why? Because in temple there are no other activities going on. We are not sitting and doing an IT job here or anything, correct? 24/7 Krishna is being worshipped. Krishna is being glorified. Krishna's holy names are being chanted. 24/7. So this place is non-different from the spiritual world. Prabhupada says all of his temples are non-different from Vaikuntha. There are no material pangs here. That is why we are having that feeling here. That when we come to the temple where Krishna is always glorified and always being worshipped, there cannot be any miseries here. That is why we are having that feeling. But when I step outside, we are immediately hit by the three modes of material nature. What we are not experiencing in the temple, we immediately experience outside. All the miseries and illusion and fearfulness that we cannot be present where Krishna is present is immediately present as soon as we step out of the realm of temple premises. So because I'm speaking about myself also, my heart is not so pure. I have every possibility of immediately being hit by the miseries from outside. But these devotional activities that Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the end, starting from hearing, chanting, and all those activities, we should regularly, every day, do it. And when we do that regularly, and then step out, then the chances of the external world influencing us is minimized by the grace of Krishna. Because our hearts are gradually purified, because Bhagavatam itself says that our hearts gradually gets purified. So when we hear, when we chant, gradually, we can feel the influence of the external world is not going to affect us compared to what it was before. It is a gradual process for all of us.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any more questions? There's another hand here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandak Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
I also, feel that even taking Krishna with us everywhere we go, it really does help us, Like I was telling Prabhuji earlier in life, that I actually have a small altar at my work, so as soon as I go to work, I see my Krishna there. On my phone, I have Krishna's picture, I see him there. So everywhere I go, he's with me. And that really, really helps, not forget him. You can kind of create your temple wherever you go. It doesn't have to be anything elaborated, just something small, and something that helps you remember him always. Like you said, drinking a glass of water, think about him. I also write my Harinam at work just so I can remember him as much as I can. That actually helps me pass my days faster and more smoothly than, not thinking about him at all. Or just thinking about him when we're in the temple. I mean, temple is great, it's the place to think about him always. But like you said, as soon as we step out, there are so many external material energies that kind of hinders that process and kind of pulls us out of the bhakti zone, Thank you, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. If anybody else has any other questions.